Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, and it's your lucky day. You found me at fireyourmdnow.com. Remember to call the station and talk to me live Monday through Friday, 4 to 5 Central Time. It's 866-582-9933, 866-582-9933. If you're trying to call, can't get through, would like help processing an order or figuring it all out, give my staff a call. They are standing by to take your calls and help you get your orders placed. 855-347-3696. Once again, 855-347-3696. And, of course, 24/7 on the World Wide Web at fireyourmdnow.com. And I am as serious as a heart attack when I say that. Fire your MD now. Now, you know it's Friday. You know what that means. Show Me the Money Friday, ladies and gentlemen, where we take time away from the medical information and talk about the business opportunity as presented by the Longevity Company, because the Longevity Company exists on purpose as a networked business in order to grow a grassroots coalition of the informed, of people who are paid to spread our message of health recovery through medical nutrition, because the MDs have let us down. We're dying by the thousands. We're suffering by the millions. And quite frankly, if you become a member of Longevity and take the simple steps, do just a little bit of education, you will become your community's last best hope for a strong, healthy, and wealthy life. Now, I'm very excited today. We have one of the first business builders ever to get on board with the Longevity Company. His name is Blake Graham. He's calling in today. I believe he's from Salt Lake City, Utah. I think he's in Salt Lake City today. But he's been with the Longevity Company, from day one. He's one of the top money earners in the company. He's been around the block with this company, and he's going to talk to us about his experience with Longevity over the last 15 years. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Blake Graham. Blake, thanks so much for calling.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be with you, Dr. Glidden.
Very, very good. Are you in Utah today?
Yes, I am in Utah. We spend quite a bit of time in Japan, and I even have a trip to Australia coming up here in just about a month. But we are back in Utah right now, and it is great to be back in the good old U.S. of A.
I bet it is. Now, listen, how long ago did you start with Dr. Wallach and Longevity?
Well, I actually got my start with Dr. Wallach just over 15 years ago. I had spent 4 years with another nutritional company, and I know, Dr. Glidden, you've seen a lot of other nutritional companies as well. But Dr. Wallach's information and his products just blew me away. And within 2 years, our organization, the business, was probably 70 times bigger than it was with 4 years of the other company. And I attribute a lot of that, or most of that, to the products and the message. Just that Best of Dead Doctors Don't Lie CD just made it so easy to share. And even though we've had great results with the business, I always say that that's because we help people with the products. In our business, we always provide for our family and make our money by making a difference, and that comes first. And even though we've had great results in the last 15 years, especially these last 2 years, with some of the products being reformulated better than ever before with the Healthy Start, and also with some of the incredible tools like Your CD Healing is Easy makes it easier than ever to educate people. We've actually seen our business go up close to fourfold here in the last couple of years, and the company in the last year, they just released their numbers. They're up threefold in volume in the last year, and that's just because you see an increasing need not only for physical health, but for financial health. I mean, how many people out there are suffering and have financial stress and would like to make more money? Well, what if we could do it by helping other people at the same time? And that's what I love about this business.
Yeah, it's really great. I mean, it's a perfect model, really, because the more you lift people in your community and your family and your church into health, the wealthier that you get. And the business model, just from a pure business position, is exactly the opposite of corporate America, because the corporation's job is to reduce their overhead and to pay their employees as little as possible. And it's this type of a business model for you to make the people who are working in your organization underneath you as wealthy as possible, as successful as possible. So it really is just a perfect combination of the business and the health. Now, you've been doing this for a long time, Blake, and you've been around the block with this. You have some very successful people in your network, in your organization. I'd like you to share with us, the type of people that are brought into this business. What do you need to be successful in this business? Do you need a PhD? Do you need to have an MBA in business? Do you need to have, even a high school education? What are the qualities that you've found in the people that are in your organization who are the top money earners?
Dr. Glidden, that is an excellent question, because when you look at the most successful people, you find that they do come from all walks of life. We've got people with MBA and law degrees. We have others that are career plumbers, and some that, since joining the company have actually gone back to school and finished their high school general education and finally got a high school diploma. And so they come from all walks of life. When you look at what does it take to be successful, the answer is not a degree. And I know a lot of people, they get this information and they think, well, wow, how long is it going to take me to memorize all that? That's not the key, is memorizing all of the health. Knowing what you, Dr. Glidden, know, or trying to learn what Dr. Wallach knows is not the key to this business. The most important characteristic is that a person comes in and is willing to take action. They're willing to go out there and reach out to people. You don't have to know all the answers. You just have to know where the answers are. So with a little bit of coaching, we have people. In fact, I have one lady in our organization. Her name's Corky, and she actually had been in 37 other opportunities, always looking for something. And you can just feel it, when she finally signs up in the 38th, people say, oh, finally, magic number 38, right? Yeah. Now I'll listen, No, it doesn't happen that way. She said she was in the NFL club, the no friends left, and, for her, she'd been burned out, and she didn't want to do the business. She didn't sign up for the business. She signed up because her husband had a health need. His blood pressure was out of control. He didn't want to take medication. In 2 weeks, they had such a turnaround that even though they said, I'm not doing this for the business, they couldn't keep their mouth shut. And, within a year, they'd replaced both his income and her income. They replaced 2 incomes within a year because of this incredible message that we share, and they were willing to reach out and share it with other people. So that's what it takes. Somebody willing to do some work in sharing the message, and to do it most effectively, follow the system. Because I tell you, with the tools and the events and all of the training and the webinars going on, it's easier today than ever before
it really is, and that's
your financial health.
Yeah, that's a point well worth repeating and well worth underlining. This business opportunity is easy, ladies and gentlemen. The Longevity Company will pay you to do something that you would normally do for free, and we will show you a way, an easy way, a simple way to show this message of health recovery through medical nutrition to your friends and family that makes them run towards you instead of making them run away from you. Now, I remember, Blake, I had a revelation. I'm 3 years into getting my feet wet with the networked marketing model, and I'm loving it, and I'm learning more and more all the time. And my head exploded once about a year ago when I was with your group in Salt Lake City somewhere. We were at a ski resort, retreat for your business builders, and there was a girl, a high school age girl in the group, who had become a business builder and who was making, I think, $300, $400, $500, $600 a month. And her story was a great story. I'm wondering if you can just take a couple minutes and share that with us.
Yeah, you're talking about Karen as a high school senior. She got in the business and got excited about it, said, I can do this, and started to share the CDs. Well, after the first 20 CDs, nobody had taken any action on it. And she said, what am I doing wrong? She got a little bit of training on how we share the CD so that people listen to it. By the end of the first month in the business, she shared another 25 CDs beyond that, did some follow-up. Her first check was over $650. Now, That is very impressive. But one of them that even blows me away more is the younger brother decided he wanted in. He saw what his sister's doing, says, I'm in. And his sister did not put any people underneath him. He did the recruiting all on his own. His younger brother, just this last month, at the age of 11, had a check for over $400.
Come on, 11 years old, $400.
11. Yeah. I mean,
so, ladies and gentlemen, if an 11-year-old can do it, do you think you can do it? See, this is the thing. This really is the wonderful thing here, because we have such a remarkable opportunity. Because Dr. Wallach's health recovery products, they're unrivaled. They're the best nutritional supplements, the best health recovery protocols I've ever seen, and I've been around the block when it comes to holistic medicine. I've been doing this for over 24 years clinically. And Dr. Wallach's stuff is unparalleled, unrivaled. And when you marry Dr. Wallach's science-based, clinically verified health recovery protocols and products with a simple system that is loaded with support and loaded with training, and that an 11-year-old can do, we have the capacity to change the world. It's very, very exciting.
Well, Dr. Glidden, can I share a couple more stories with you?
You can. We have a minute 26 left.
Okay, we just launched a 60-day to company car program, because right now with the new company car bonus, it's easier than ever to qualify for a company car. We had a lady at the CEO retreat here this last weekend. She's been in the business just a couple of months, but she qualified within 4 days of that training for the company car bonus. It's that good. And our oldest distributor, if you want to think what's the high end, we have our oldest distributors actually here in just a few short weeks turning 100, a business builder at the age of 100. So anywhere between 11 and 100, they're successful in making money in the business. And I think the other people that are hearing this call, if you're willing to take the action, all this can be yours and more.
Blake, you're an inspiration. Really, you're one of the the leaders in longevity, and I want to take a minute and thank you for that. Thank you for your support. Thank you for everything that you do. Let's talking today about how to increase your stores of vitamin M. Money keeps you cool in the summer, keeps you warm in the winter, keeps food on the plate, keeps your kids in school, right? Keeps the bills paid. Keeps the tax man happy. And by the way, if you make it to 100, and it's easy to do by following our diet and taking Dr. Wallach's nutritional supplements as offered through the Longevity Company, you can easily make it to 100, because the human body has the capacity to make it to 120 years of age. The reason that we fall far short of that goal and we suffer in the meantime, as we're approaching the last decade of our life, we suffer miserably, is because we've gone to the wrong doctor. We've taken the wrong dog to the hunt. We haven't taken any nutrition into the body. We haven't given any cause, any concern at all to proper nutrition. We just believe what the talking heads on TV tell us. We believe what the makers of General Mills tell us. We believe what the GMO people tell us. We just believe it. Without question. We believe anything that the guys with the white coats tell us. Why? I don't know why. But we have to stop it. We have to knock it off. Listen, if you're a business builder and you're over 100, guess what? You don't have to pay income tax anymore. Did you know that? Over 100 in the U.S., no more income tax, baby, so it's all gravy. So that's 20 good years of 100% income capture. Stick with us. We're going to drag you into the light of health, and we're going to drag you further, one step further, into the wonderful land of wealth. Now, we're going to go right to the phones right now. And by the way, if you want to call me today and talk about a health situation, or if you'd like to share a business success story with Longevity, today's the day. 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933. And, of course, if you would like help from my staff, placing an order, figuring the website out, or whatever, call them, 855-347-3696. We have friendly people standing by to help you at 855-347-3696. And we're going to go right to the phones now with Ruth, calling from Missouri. Ruth, you are live with Dr. Glidden. Welcome aboard.
Thanks, Doctor. I talked to you yesterday about my mom, and I was telling my daughter about it. She's a member down in Georgia, and she told me I ought to call you and ask you about my issues. So I'm calling about my issues today.
All right, Ruth, I'm sitting down, so hit me with it.
Okay. Well, several years ago, an eye doctor diagnosed me with pterygium on my eye, and I just went into denial about it. And so I'm thinking maybe I need to do something about it. I have an appointment with an ophthalmologist, and I was just curious if there's any reversal on that without surgery. And then I've got a few other issues going on here. My husband was sick in November and December, and he passed away in January. And while he was sick, we were doing a real strict diet, and I lost about 40 pounds. I weigh about 115 pounds now. And I was moving some furniture while he was sick, and I felt something kind of slip, and I think I have a prolapsed bladder now, and I was wondering if there's any hope for that. I also deal with, I can't hardly handle cold. If I have my air conditioner on and it gets any below 80, I almost get sick. And sinus issues. And then the other day, I was feeling kind of woozy and mentioned it to my sister-in-law, and she slapped a blood pressure cuff on me, and my blood pressure was 95 over 53, I think it was. And I just wondered what recommendations you would have for me on these issues.
Okay, so how much do you weigh, Ruth?
I weigh about 115 now.
100. Is that a good weight for you, or is that too low?
It's probably about right.
Okay, how tall are you?
5'3".
What's your blood type, you know?
No, I don't know.
Okay. And how old are you?
66.
Okay. Well, you're not even in any trouble here at all, you know. However, the conditions that you're suffering from are all the function of chronic nutrient deficiencies over time. You know, it's like the system gets worn down, it gets worn down, it gets worn down, it gets worn down, it gets worn down, and something breaks.
Right.
It's just like that. So the situation for you here is reversing, right? You know, 60-plus years of nutritional deficiencies and eating all the wrong foods. We can do that. That's a process. It's not an event. It's something that's going to unfold over time. The first thing you need to do is go on the good food, bad food diet. Avoid all 10 bad foods. You probably already did that if you were helping your husband to do that. That's number one. Number two, the pterygium on the eye is caused by oxidative damage to the eye. Right now we're talking to Ruth from Missouri, and she's got a number of things going on. The root cause of all of Ruth's problems is that for her entire life, 60-plus years, she has visited the wrong doctor. She has taken her laptop to the plumber. She has taken her automobile to the carpenter. She has, you know, just taken the wrong dog for the hunt, right? She's looking for pheasants and ducks with a chihuahua. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to fly. That's not going to work. And this is what everybody does in this country because we don't know any better. We go to the wrong person all the time. And, you know, Ruth, I'm glad that you called because this is like a re-education, right? It's a re-education for you and for most people in the listening audience. Now, the pterygium is a condition where there's a little overgrowth of tissue on the eyeball itself, and pterygium is caused by oxidative damage to the eyeball from our point of view. So in order to help the body deal with that and get on the other side of it, if it's possible, without surgery. I've seen styes resolve. I've seen pterygium resolve. It really depends on a number of variables, including, of course, how big it is, right? So the main deal for that is increasing your antioxidant consumption. And if you want to avoid surgery, I would just go for it, Ruth. I would increase your antioxidant consumption to 100,000 ORAC points a day. 100,000 plus, just go for it. You know, 4 pieces of chocolate a day, Cell Shield RTQ, the Mackey Plus, the Fucoid Z, cinnamon, curry powder, green tea, whatever it is that you can get your hands on that is high in antioxidants is going to help your body to get on the other side of this, as will selenium. Selenium, of course, amplifies the action of antioxidants in your body, encourages the recycling of the body's own antioxidant called glutathione. So when we're talking about increasing antioxidant activity, in addition to consuming more substances that are high in antioxidant activity, we also just need to increase our consumption of selenium. And the best selenium on the market is Longevity's Ultimate Selenium. At 100 and something pounds, in order to get on the other side of this, 115 pounds. What I would recommend for you is 3 bottles of selenium a month. That's 3 selenium 3 times a day. This would be built against the background of the Anti-Aging Healthy Start Pack. So I would take 1 Anti-Aging Healthy Start Pack, 3 bottles of Ultimate Selenium, and as much antioxidants as you can get. Now, the prolapsed bladder is most likely a function of connective tissue weakness inside the body. Because, there's connective tissue that's supporting the bladder, keeping it in place in the pelvis, just like there's connective tissue around your knee, keeping the knee joint in place, keeping the shoulder joint in place, keeping your abdominal contents in place so you don't pop a hernia. When your body runs out of connective tissue stuff, the connective tissue gets weak and different things can start to go wrong. So our secret sauce to support and promote the health of connective tissue is the Ultimate Selenium, which has copper in it, which feeds the elastic tissues in the body. Copper is necessary to promote elasticity of tissue in the body, so that's very important. You've already got that base covered. But the next thing for you would be the glucogel. The glucogel is the secret sauce for connective tissue, ligaments, and tendons. And the dosage for the glucosamine supplement, it's called glucogel, is if you buy the glucogel capsules, it's 1 capsule per 10 pounds, so you're 115 pounds. And I'm going to round that up to 120. So you would need 12 glucogel capsules a day. That's forward breakfast, forward lunch, forward dinner. That's 360 a month. So you would need 1 bottle of glucogel at the 240 count and 1 bottle of glucogel at the 120 count. 2 bottles total of glucogel a month. Or you can go with the glucogel liquid. And if you did the liquid, it would be 2 bottles of the glucogel liquid a month. So that's what I would do. Cold intolerance is hard to say where the cold intolerance comes from. That's probably related to your thyroid function, which sounds to me like your thyroid is underfunctioning because you also have low blood pressure. Now, there's a very interesting thing that happens in the human body, because when you run out of nutrients, sometimes your systems start to underfunction and sometimes they start to overfunction. You really, can go either way, depending on too many variables to predict. The most common result of a chronic nutrient deficiency, of course, would be high blood pressure, but a handful of people can also get low blood pressure because the body's also run out of the stuff it needs to maintain the health of its blood pressure, right? So when you have unhealthy blood pressure, it can be unhealthy high or it can be unhealthy low. So before I start getting anxious or concerned about that, or, want to do more diagnostic discovery around that issue, the first thing that I would do is just fall back on the essential 90 nutrients and that will feed your cardiovascular system, and your blood pressure is probably just going to pop back to normal after you do this. Sinus-related issues are usually caused by not enough essential fatty acids and dehydration. So want to make sure that you're drinking at least 1 quart of water a day. 1 quart of water a day. If you drink coffee, if you have, 6 ounces of coffee, I want you to add 6 ounces of water to the 1 quart of water that you're drinking a day. Because coffee sucks water out of your body, and so does tea. Anything that has caffeine in it will suck water out of your body. So hydrate yourself a little more. Take a healthy start pack. Take 3 bottles of selenium. Take the glucogel, 2 bottles of the glucogel a month, and clean your diet up. And give this program 90 days. 90 days to kick in, Ruth. Eliminate all the bad foods from your diet and see what happens. And this stuff should slowly fade away into the background. Now, if the pterygium hasn't changed at all in 90 days, it's probably not going to change. However, you can't unsurgery something. So if it were me, I would wait 6 months while doing this program, before I even thought about surgery. Unless it's bothersome, unless it's like causing irritation to your eye or whatever. If it's a problem, then you might want to consider the surgical option, because remember, that's what the MDs are good for when they're not addicted to street drugs, alcohol, or prescription medicine, as 51% of emergency room medical doctors are. So, you're taking your life into your hands when you go into the surgical theater. If it were me, I would let this baby ride for 6 months before I even considered surgery, and I feel like I've spoken way too much. Ruth, you have any other questions?
Well, on my mom's issues, she takes a lot of vitamins and supplements, and she was wondering if she should continue those along with your program.
No. And that's a great question, and this is one of that's a really great point, because we don't talk about this enough. This program, as outlined by the longevity company, Dr. Wallach, is extremely comprehensive. And when you're on board with our stuff, you don't need to do anything else. And so actually, you're going to save tons of money just by dialing in the longevity family of nutritional supplements, because when you do our stuff, it is extremely holistic, extremely comprehensive, and you don't need to do anything else. The only thing extracurricular that you need to do when you're on our program is make sure you're eating food enough to give you enough protein, enough calories, and enough fat every day. That's the only thing extra that you need to do, and of course drink water. So really you're going to save a ton of money just by dialing in the longevity supplements. So no, she can finish those up. She's paid good money for them, but after she's finished them up, she won't need to take any more. And by the way, you know how many people died last year from a vitamin overdose? 0. You know how many people died because they visited an MD? 780,000. That's more than heart disease. That's more than cancer, which means your MD is more dangerous than cancer, which is why Dr. Glidden is recommending you fire your MD now. Ruth, thanks for calling. We're going to go right to Jack if he's still there, starting an exercise program. Jack, you are live with Dr. Glidden.
Yeah, I'm a 52-year-old. 5'10", weigh just under 200 pounds, and I have skin problems, some minor joint problems, and high blood pressure, and my plan was to take the nutrients for about 3 months and then start an exercise program. What do you think I should take?
Okay, so how much do you weigh, 200?
Just under 200, yes.
Is the skin condition acne, eczema, or psoriasis?
I have seborrheic dermatitis for 20 years, and about 2 years ago I started having eczema that recurs about twice a year.
Okay, great. Really good. I mean, not great that you have it, but, thanks for the information. The most common cause of eczema is an allergy to wheat, believe it or not. And it's also aggravated by not enough essential fatty acids and not enough sulfur-bearing molecules in your body. So the eczematous condition most of the time resolves, even without vitamin supplementation, if you just stop eating wheat, barley, rye, and oats. So this is a double-headed coin here, a two-sided coin, a double-edged sword. You need to do both the diet and the nutritional supplements in order for this baby to fly. So go to fireyourmdnow.com, please, and download the Good Food, Bad Food Diet. It's right there on the front page. It's free. And we have 10 bad foods that are listed there, and I just want you to stop eating those foods completely. Don't even look at those foods anymore. Stop eating them. No complaining. Just stop eating those foods. All right? Number one. Number two, at 200 pounds, because you have skin issues and joint issues, and what was the last thing? There was skin and joint and something else. What was the third thing, Jack?
50 and 80 over 140.
Okay, 180, I'm sorry?
No, 80 over 140 to 90 over 150 is the range it's been staying in lately.
Okay. All right, very good. So that's borderline. I was taught that high blood pressure, in order to have a diagnosis of high blood pressure, you have to have 3 consecutive readings when each of the numbers are elevated over It's not springing to my mind right now. But in any event, that's borderline stuff. The thing that drives high blood pressure is not enough calcium and not enough magnesium. 140/90. This is what I was taught was the bottom range of high blood pressure. And in order to have a clinical diagnosis of high blood pressure back in the day when I was in medical school, you had to have 3 consecutive readings where each number was elevated over 140/90. So, you know, you're kind of on the fence here with these readings. But in any event, when you take the 90 essential nutrients, it's going to provide your body, your cardiovascular system, with the stuff it needs to stay healthy. So the recommendation is simple, man. It would be 2 healthy start packs per month, 3 bottles of Ultimate Selenium a month, and 3 bottles of the glucogel at the 240 count. 3 healthy start packs, 3 selenium, and 3 bottles of glucogel at the 240 count, plus good food, bad food, diet. That should do it for you. You're going to love how you feel. And right now we're going to talk about olive oil. Let me read you an email from a listener. Hi, Dr. Glidden. Recently heard you on the Alex Jones Show. Really enjoyed the info you've shared. And since then, I've tuned in to your radio show as well. I'm a little confused, however, with regards to oil. For example, other natural health professionals, bah humbug, that was my interjection, recommend that one take a blend of liquid oils into their diet. I personally take extra virgin unprocessed olive oil, which comes from my friend's family olive grove in Italy. How about that? I also take cold processed hemp seed, coconut, and avocado oil with my smoothies. From my understanding, all of these oils contain essential fatty acids, which are good with you. So why are you telling me not to consume olive oil? Because I am the smartest man in the world. That's why. There's a lot of, information that is cutting edge and new. And there's also a lot of information that has kind of filtered up into the domain of common sense, not because it has anything to do with reality, but just because everybody believes it. And this whole thing about olive oil is one of them. Our stance on olive oil is that, or any oil in a bottle, quite frankly. I don't care if it's olive oil. I don't care if it's vegetable oil. I don't care if it's coconut oil. I don't care what it is. If it's an oil, when it's in a bottle, it is beginning to oxidize, right? There's the oil that's in the bottle, and then there's a little bit of air that's at the top of the bottle. Then there's the cork or the cap that's on the bottle. There's air inside the bottle. It's not vacuum pressed, and it's certainly not sealed with nitrogen. It's just sealed, in a room. There's air in there. So the oil will start to oxidize. And as you use more of the oil, there's more air in the bottle. It's longer on the shelf. It's longer, out of the olive, right? And the oxidation process continues to grow. And as the oil, you use more and more of the oil, it becomes more and more oxidized. And when you consume an oxidized anything, you're pouring free radicals into your body. Now, this isn't good. This is the same process, of course, that makes, if you cut an apple, it turns brown on the countertop. That's oxidation. It's the same process that makes wine turn into vinegar overnight if you don't suck the air out of the bottle. So oxidation in oils happens slowly, but it still happens. So what we are attempting to do here is eliminate negative stress, negative metabolic stress from the body, right? If you had a broken leg, I would put a cast on that leg, set the bone, put a cast on the leg, and give you crutches. Now, if I just set the bone, did not put a cast on it or give you crutches, and you walked out of the office, the bone's going to fracture again. It's going to slip right out, and you're going to be howling in pain. You need the support of the cast and the crutches in order to facilitate the healing of the bone. Well, in the same way that you need to reduce the stress to a bone that's healing, we need to reduce the stress to a body that's healing. And we do this by complete prohibition of any oil that's in a bottle. Now, you could make the argument that if you had an olive tree in your backyard and you harvested the olives yourself, extracted the oil yourself, and immediately poured the oil into a bottle that had nitrogen in it, or that all of the air was sucked out of it, vacuum-packed, and you refrigerated it, and then every time you used the oil, you immediately sucked the air out of the bottle again, so it was vacuum-packed all of the time, and you refrigerated it, that, well, yeah, that olive oil, or coconut oil, or vegetable oil, or canola oil, or whatever the heck it is, would be significantly less oxidized than another bottle of oil that you didn't do that to, but nobody's going to do that. So the reason that we prohibit the use of any oil in a bottle is because of the oxidation process that's ultimately going to happen. And by the way, when you cook with an oil and you heat it, it oxidizes much more rapidly. Now, you're right, olive oil is a source of essential fatty acids, but we have those bases covered with our EFA supplement that's part of the Healthy Start Pack. And by the way, our EFAs, the Longevity Essential Fatty Acid Oils, are in a gel cap packed with nitrogen. Imagine that. So if any gas gets into that little capsule while the oil's being squirted in there, it's nitrogen and it's not oxygen. So our oil is not oxidized. So reduce the net negative stress to your body, ladies and gentlemen. Stop drinking, consuming any oil that's in a bottle. Take the 90 essential nutrients. Live long and prosper. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, looking forward to seeing you next Monday. Until then, keep the faith. Take your vitamins.